Coming to you out of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the way of love. So it says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and I deliver up my body to be burned, but I have not love, I gain nothing. Verse 4, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoings, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part that we prophesy in part, but when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. So that's saying when Jesus, the perfectness, comes, we're not going to need that kind of knowledge. That's the kind of speaking in tongues. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For I know, for now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. God fully knows us, every bit of us. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these three, but the greatest of these is love. Listen, what it's saying here is we need to have love. Not, oh, I love you, we're going to get married, we're going to do this. No, not that kind of love. It is like a brotherly, sisterly love. This is the love he's talking about. If you are arrogant or rude or boastful and envious and it's not insistent on its own way, controlling, irritable, resentful, that's not the fruits of the spirit of love. Those are the opposite of love. And if you harbor rudeness and you boast and you're envious and you're controlling and you're irritable and you're resentful, bitterness, how is that love? We are called to love one another. We're even called to love our enemies. I'm not saying you have to be buddy-buddy best friends with your enemies, but we are not to wish harm. We are to love them, and if they need something, we are to be there for them. In the metaphorical way, I guess, kind of thing. However you want to take that. But I don't know how people can be so mean. He has a whole chapter just right here, I'm sure there's more, about loving, being a loving, kind person. Love is patient, love is kind. It's not envious, and it doesn't boast. How many of us are not kind? We are to love and to build one another up. We're to light other people's candles, just like I said in the other chapter, we are to shine God's light. How are we shining God's light if we are being envious? We're being rude. We're being bitter. We're being arrogant. From someone on the outside, what does that look like to you? Like, I know I can look at people that profess Christianity, profess being a Christian, and I don't see love. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never ends. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that God is a loving God and that He extends grace to us when we fall short. I know we all have our moments where we're not kind, where we're not patient, where we may be a little arrogant, a little rude. Listen, if I'm hungry and you asking me 50 million questions, just feed me and then we'll be good. But or irritable or resentful, like, we need a heart check. Check your heart. Where is your heart postured to? Is it postured to be loving and lifting others up and shining God's light? Or is it postured to tearing people down and not shining God's light? You're shining darkness. Listen, I don't know about you, but I can look at someone and go, that person does not have love in their heart. Can you? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling on here. There's so much on my mind, but it's just a swirling up there, and I'm trying to get it out, but it's just, there's so much to say and so little to say at the same time. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways, which is cool because there's certain childish tendencies we need to get rid of. But there's also the childlike faith. And I don't know about you, but I think children are very loving. They love without question. They just give their love willingly. They don't have the hate in their hearts that people grow in. I don't know what they've been through in their life, but they allowed evil to step in and God hardened their hearts. I pray that if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, that you hear this message and to open and pray, to pray to God that He unhardens your heart so that you can show love to those around you, that you can make heaven crowded.